2.5 liters, 5 cylinders, 400 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. Yes, it is the good Audi RSQ3. And tonight we're gonna talk about the long-term experience of driving or owning Audi RSQ3. Is this the perfect one-car-only solution? A perfect combination of practicality and sportiness? Stay tuned. As you might already know, watching the first 20 seconds of the video, I have uploaded the first video of RSQ3 several months ago, but between then and now there have been some interesting cars to shoot, so this long-term review comes out a little bit late. But let's go through the history of Audi RSQ3. So the first Audi with 5-cylinder engines was actually found in Audi 100. This car is now, by the way, a hot stuff in the market. And it was actually powered by 2.1 liter 5-cylinder, and the car was launched in 1976. And this engine produced a healthy 136 horsepower. In 1978, Audi launched the diesel version of 5-cylinder engine. It produced 70 horsepower, and the following year they announced the turbocharged version with 170 horsepower and 265 Newton meter, which was later built in Audi 250. 5 is for the number of cylinders and T for turbocharge. Quite logic actually. And the rise of Audi's 5 cylinders happened in 80s, when Hannu Mikkola won World Rally Championship with Audi Quattro, which was powered by 200 horsepower strong turbocharged 5-cylinder engine paired with permanent Quattro all-wheel drive. Since then, Audi is a known name in motorsport industry. By the way, you can also check out the video from Donut Media about the history of Quattro, which I found very interesting and very well done. So, Audi stopped producing 5-cylinder engines in 90s in favor of 6-cylinder engines. And the comeback of 5-cylinder engine was in 2009. So it was around 19 years apart, as Audi put the legendary engine into TTRS. Since then, RS3 and RSQ3 have always carried the 5-cylinder engine thanks to compact size and sufficient power output. So, enough with history. How does the RSQ3 drive? So let's start with the good note, the sound. It is not bad despite particle filter. It sounds good inside and outside. Yeah, I know they channeled a fake engine noise into the cabin, but again, not bad. I might even say it is good. The next good thing is, it is fast. 4.5 seconds to 100 in unexpected when you see a Q3, and this car will go up until 200 km per hour, and it is actually limited. So it is capable to go over 280 km per hour. The question is if you're able to drive it over 280. And it is spacious. You can carry 4 adults on a road trip with RSQ3 easy. And this is an upgrade in comparison to the old Q3 or RSQ3. In the sense they are actually small, same car. I still remember sitting in an old Q3 at the back and thought the legroom in this car is so bad, and why bother buying an SUV? Just take the A3. Last but not least, the look. You can get 21-inch wheels for the first time in a Q3. And it costs around 1,000 or 1,500 euro in Germany. And first thing first, the competitors don't do this. You cannot get a GLA 45S or X2 M35i with 21-inch wheels. Like, from the factory. And secondly, it is not an astronomical premium options. And this is what Audi is doing actually right now across the whole range of RS models. And I think they also offer 22-inch for the RS7 and RS6, which I think is not needed, but that makes the car looks like a legit concept cars. Now let's move on to the things that can be better. The first thing, the transmission. In default, the car is set to auto, which means the transmission will adapt to how you drive. So it will shift down when the car thinks you want to do an overtake, and it will shift up when it thinks that you are cruising in the autobahn. Now, the big question is, did it work? Nah, not really. Sometimes it is almost 1 second too late to shift down, and I think a lot of times it got confused with which gear it should choose. When driving in sports mode or sports plus mode, the shift is not lightning fast, but it is also not bad. One thing to mention though, it can change from manual to D mode, like the automatic drive mode, when it thinks that you hold the gear for far too long. So, transmission can be better. Second point, the Quattro Haldex system. We all know this, the magic word, the H word. And I'm not saying that Haldex system makes it bad, but I was once driving in deep winter, and it has been snowing for at least 3 days, and in that particular evening the temperature was down to minus 20 degrees Celsius, by the way. So yeah, a perfect weather for Quattro, or so you think. So I stopped at the traffic light. When I was about to go, and no, I didn't give it full beans. For some milliseconds, the car made a loud thump noise, as if something was disconnected and lost spontaneously the power, and it went literally to limp mode. I didn't know what happens there, but has it happened? It has happened, and so the question is going out to you guys: has it happened to you? And if you know why, you can also just write it in comment below why, because for me it was actually kind of a mini heart attack. The last one is, it is simply not that good as a fun car. I drove the RSQ3 on kind of a mountain pass in autumn, and I was not convinced. The car felt heavy and it understeered a bit too much, and I just didn't feel safe to push the car harder, and every time I attacked the corner, I needed to be cautious because I didn't really trust the car. The steering didn't help much because it is either numb or too heavy in Sports Plus mode. I can say it doesn't drive better than the hyperhatch version RS3 or the sports car version TTRS. It might be a fast crossover, but it doesn't drive like a sports car. My old Macan GTS handles a lot better and gave me more miles per gallon despite less power. Number 4, key fob and gear selector. Key fob is literally like Golf 6, and the gear selector is actually taken away from A1. So yes, RSQ3, it looks good, it sounds good, and it's spacious. Is it a good mix of practicality and agility of a sports car? No. It is a fast car, but that's about it. It will take you from A to B quickly, but you won't go out on Saturday morning for spirited driving on a mountain pass. And now, this is a statement from Audi in Berlin. The sound of RS exhaust in RSQ3 is quieter than in RS3. And the RS3 exhaust is quieter than TTRS, even though they are carrying the same engine. And 0 to 100 time in RSQ3 is 4.5 seconds. In the new RS3 is 3.8 seconds, and in TTRS is 3.7 seconds. So guys, that's it for today. I hope this review helps you if you are thinking to get the RSQ3. It is a very good car, but just beware, it is not as sporty as, let's say, Macan GTS. And right now their prices are actually very similar. So if you are considering RSQ3, you should also test drive a Macan GTS. So that's all. See you in the next video, and stay healthy and stay safe. Ciao.